Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Just got back in from camp, and I was listening to Jeremiah chapter 30 in the car on the way back home, and the Spirit just hopped on me, like, just do a breakdown on the chapter. So Lord willing, it'd be edifying. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, Thus speaketh Yahweh, the power of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Okay, now this is a prophecy that was written during the time of the Babylonian captivity. All right, when Nebuchadnezzar was in rulership. Okay, and he had our people over there in the land of Babylon. Okay, and so I believe that's modern day Iraq. Okay, and so these letters, there were letters that were being sent between those Israelites that were dwelling in Babylon. Okay, and the Israelites and basically the small portion that was still left in Israel. Okay, in Jerusalem. All right, and so I wanted to get this precept because the scripture said that the Most High is going to turn again the captivity of Israel and Judah, so the northern and southern tribe. Okay, and so we know that right now we're in captivity. All right, because these are prophecies, and they apply to this time. This prophecy here applies to now, because right now we are in Babylon the Great, Babylon 2.0. All right. Because the scriptures talk about another Egypt, man. Okay, and that Egypt, it says, "I will bring thee into Egypt again with ships." We were brought into the position of slavery through the cargo slave ships. So this bondage that we're in right now, these double straits that we're in right now, is spiritually Babylon, man. Okay, Babylon the Great, as they say, because Babylon the Great was spoken about after the time of us being delivered from the Babylonian captivity during the time of after Yahushua's death. So we know that there's a second Babylon. Okay, that's America. I'm gonna get this precept in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. Verse 1, it says, For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, now this is the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans coming back into their own land. And this is going to be done when the kingdom of heaven is established through the return of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which is Yahushua. Okay, verse 2, it says, And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, and that's exactly what we plan to do, man. Who is oppressing us right now? Esau, the so-called white man. All right, and so we understand through prophecy that those who rule over us right now are going to be ruled over in the kingdom. All right, when everything is put in its proper order. Verse 3, here's the point. It says, And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Okay, and so that time is a time that we look forward to. All right, so that was just a precept backing up what we're reading right here in Jeremiah. All right, that the Most High is going to give us rest from our sorrow and from our fear that we have currently, that we're currently going through right now in America. Okay, you know. All right, so I just wanted to get that, and we'll go back to Jeremiah chapter 30. All right, I'm gonna read verse 3 again. It says, "For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers to possess. That I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it." All right, and so like I said, that's going to be we're going to be escorted, okay, into the kingdom by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not of us forcing our hand, all right, but by the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. I'm going to read this in Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. It says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought up the children out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from the lands whither he hath driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers." Okay, now what land of the north is this scripture talking about? And the lands whether the Most High driven them, what is that talking about? That's talking about America, all right, the land of the North America, all right, the United States particularly, all right, and then which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, and then also the four corners of the earth where the Israelites have been scattered. Okay, we've been scattered over the course of thousands of years and multiple continents, man. All areas of the world, you'll be able to find Israelites, man. Everywhere where there's people, there's going to be Israelites there, okay? And so the Most High is going to gather the elect of those Israelites and save them and bring them into the kingdom, man. All right? And so that's a prophecy. That's another prophecy. So let me go back here to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. "And these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." All right, now this is a prophecy here. Okay, this is referring to a particular point in time. All right, and it's going to be made manifest here shortly when Jacob's trouble, which is what we're about to read about, when Jacob's trouble begins in America, we're going to see exactly the fulfillment of this scripture here. All right, so let's read. It says, verse 6, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child." All right, so if you ask a man, "Hey, do men, you know that face that women make and that sound that they make when they on the delivery bed, and they say it's telling the woman to push and she pushing, making that ugly ass face." That's gonna be, well, let's just read. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, all right. So keep that face in your mind, and so keep that expression and that sound in your mind. All right, and ask yourself, okay, do men make that expression? Right? That's that expression of being in what's they call it? They got contractions, and then I forget the term for it, you know. But the woman while she's having her contractions and she's about to deliver the baby, it can be for hours on end. All right, labor, that's what they call it, in labor, you know, because you're toiling to push the baby out. All right, so does a man go into labor? Well, let's see. Verse 6, it says, "Wherefore," continuing in verse 6, "Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?" Your loins are your thighs, okay? "As a woman in travail." So when a woman, I'm gonna just illustrate, when a woman is delivering a baby, you know, when a woman's delivering a baby, she got her hands on her thighs, You know, she may be laying down or whatever. All right, and they're grimacing. Okay, and then you know they're looking crazy, but they're delivering a baby, so it's hard work, you know. And so it says, I'm gonna read it again in the middle of verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now, uh, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness." So the Most High is asking, okay, does a man travail with child? The answer is no. All right, but if they don't, why are they looking like they in labor? All right, the answer is because they're going to be in such a destitute state, man. Our people, talking about our people here coming in America, the wicked of our people are going to be in such a terrible state. They're going to look like they're having babies, man, like they're in labor. All right, because they're going to be experiencing grimacing pain. All right, where it talks about weeping, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, that day of destruction, man, is coming soon. Okay, I want to get a precept here in Isaiah chapter 13. Okay, yeah, Isaiah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 6. "Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty." All right, so we kind of changed the tone here in the first 3 verses of Jeremiah 30. You know, it talks about salvation and the promises of a return to the land. But first, what has to happen? Jacob's trouble has to happen. All right, so that's what we're reading about right now. All right, jumping back to Isaiah 13 and 6, it says, "Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." So that's a precept, okay? That's a precept to verses 4. Verses 5 and 6. All right, in Jeremiah chapter 30. I'm gonna read it again. Isaiah 13 and 6. "Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty." So the day of the Lord is going to come as a day of destruction, which is World War III. All right, thermonuclear missiles, famine, chariots, all of the ways that the Most High can destroy is going to be implemented on 2/3 of our people and these other nations, man. Okay, that's why we do this work, because we're scared of that. We don't want to be a part of that. All right, verse 7. It says, "Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." Here's the point. "And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames." All right, that verse says a lot. Okay, the men of confidence, the men of high esteem, the men that have money in this world and stability in this world, they are going to be just as unstable as a woman that's in pain when she's in labor in the hospital, man. All right, because Esau's infrastructure is already crumbling. Okay, but it's going to be completely collapsed. Martial law is going to be in full effect, and these people aren't going to know what the hell to do. All right, that's prophecy. These are the type of messages that got the prophets in such big trouble, because when you are a ruler of a nation and you hear a man speaking with such boldness and such surety, you know, it can be intimidating. And so you want to put that message out. You want to put that that light out. You know, if you don't want your kingdom to fall, all right, because he's stirring in the minds of the people. That's what the prophets did. They stirred up the minds of the people, and they are back today doing the same exact thing. All right, and that's why Esau wants to shut the YouTube channels down, flag the videos, you know, because the famine of the word is soon to come, and that's prophecy too. But let's go back here to Jeremiah chapter 30, all right, verse 7. All right, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay, so alas, meaning, you know, look, pay attention, you know, that day is going to be great, so that none is like it. And I don't mean great like awesome, excellent, beautiful, perfect. Great like a great destruction. Okay, it's going to be a day of great sorrow. It's going to be a day of great calamity. Okay, so that there is none like it. All right, that reminds me of Daniel chapter 12. You know, and these scriptures, man, especially these prophecies, you got to go precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And if you don't read this whole book, if you just read a portion of it or a couple chapters, you're going to get lost, because you have to have the whole understanding of the role, like it says in Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter. But I'm going to get this in Daniel chapter 12, Lord willing. All right, so, all right, Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble." Oh, okay, there's that word again. "And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered." You see, so we're going into Jacob's trouble. That's the time that we're coming into right now. And then after that, man, that's salvation. All right. After that, Yahushua is going to come back to save his elect from Jacob's trouble, okay, and establish the kingdom through the destruction of Esau, the so-called white man. Because when you ask yourself, who rules the world right now? It's not the Arabs, okay? Yeah, they have some oil and all that, all right, but they're selling it to who? Esau, all right? Esau's the one with all the money. He's the one with the power. He's the one with the influence, okay? And so he's the most powerful man on earth, because the Most High has allowed him to reach this height, only to show his power, only to show the Most High's power in Esau's destruction, okay? That's why when we read in Isaiah chapter 13, talked about they're going to look at each other in amazement, roughly paraphrasing, and their face being in flames is going to be them getting burnt up, man. They're going to be burnt up by these thermonuclear missiles, looking at each other crazy, like, damn, how'd it get like this? And then as soon as they look at each other like, I don't know, it's just nuke's gonna hit, man. All right. When they hit, they're gonna burn up every damn thing, man. All right. So continuing on in Daniel chapter 12, it says, "And at that time thy people shall be delivered, even every one that shall be found written in the book." All right. And so the point was earlier in the verse, you know, but like I said, this is a story of deliverance, man. Jeremiah chapter 30 is a beautiful chapter to read, to go into how the Most High, what's at the end of all of this madness here, you know, what will be after America? Well, we're reading about it right now. If you ever wondered, here's the answer. Back in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7 again, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay, that's the tone of this chapter. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hell to catch, but at the end of the day, the elect are going to be saved out of that hell. All right, verses 8, it says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve Yahweh, their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them." So in that time to come, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai establishes righteousness upon the planet Earth, all right, we're no longer going to be subservient unto these other nations, all right? Like how we were subservient unto ancient Babylon, all right? The Persians and the Medes, the Grecians, the Romans, and today we're in the new Rome, okay? The mother of harlots, all right? Babylon the Great, and this is the final captivity, all right? Because after the destruction of America, man, there's no coming back for Esau. He's going to be in total and utter subjection. All right. Continuing in verse 10. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar. All right. So the Most High is telling us not to fear. Why? Because we're going to be saved as long as we continue to believe. That's why he said, my servant Jacob, because you got a lot of 2/3. They don't serve the Most High. They serve their bellies, man. Okay, they serve Satan. They serve anything other than a heavenly, righteous energy. All right. And so those who are the Most High servants are going to be saved. It says, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Now, a seed is symbolic of what? A son. Okay. So when you plant a seed, that seed grows up into a tree or a plant, and then it produces seeds, and then you plant that seed and it continue the process. Well, that's the same thing with humans, man. We reproduce, and the male carries the seed. All right, the male plants the seed in the ground. It doesn't matter what kind of ground it is, what type of soil it is. You know, it's still going to be that same seed that was planted. All right, even though the conditions might be a little different, the tree might grow up to look a little different. It's the same seed, so it's the same plant. All right, and the male carries the seed, not the woman, the male. All right, so just wanted to clarify that. Continuing on in Jeremiah chapter 30 and 10, it says, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Now let me ask you this: that last part of the phrase where it says, "And none shall make him afraid." Jacob was made afraid. Jacob is representative of Israel. Israel was made afraid shortly after the Medes, man. I'm sorry, shortly after this was written. Okay, during the time of the Medes. Okay, I'm sorry, the Persian, the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, when Haman the Agagite basically convinced the king of Persia at that time to set up a decree to kill all Israelites. Okay, and so this prophecy has yet to be fulfilled, because when we enter into the kingdom is when we're truly going to be fearless. There's not going to be any reason for us to fear, because we will be in our power. Okay, we're going to be in the good graces of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So I just wanted to clarify that. All right, but it says back in verse 10, the Most High is going to save our seed from the land of our captivity, which is America. All right, so and then we're going to enter into the kingdom. All right, just want to clarify that. Verse 11, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. That sounds a lot like favoritism, man. Okay, so that goes into the Gentiles breakdown. All right, when you read the scriptures, okay, I think it's Matthew. Pastor Hart actually brought it out recently in one of his videos. The Great Commission, as they say, right? All right, here it is. Matthew chapter 28, verse 17. All right, it says, and when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. All right, and we're in that time now where the end of this world is here, man. All right, but the point is in verse 19 where it says, teach all nations. Okay, all nations is concerning teach all the Israelites that are in all the nations. Okay, and we know that most of them are not going to hear. They're going to forbear from hearing, but our job nevertheless is to teach the nations. Okay, let's see here. All right, I got a precept. This is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 9. Verse 9. It says, break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. And the waste places of Jerusalem are all over, man. You look at these ghettos and these huge metroplex cities. All right, those are the waste places of Jerusalem. Okay, it says, for Yahweh hath comforted his people. He have redeemed Jerusalem. And also, too, basically, this whole place, man, is the waste places of Jerusalem because our people are here and we make the city, okay? We make the people make the city, but we're wasted and destitute, man. All right, as far as concerning the knowledge of the Most High, all right, Israel as a nation doesn't have that knowledge. So that's why the scriptures say in Hosea chapter 4 and 6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we are perished, man, and wasted as a nation. But the Most High is going to redeem us. And we're going to read that. Verse 10, it says, verse 9, it says, for he hath comforted his people, he hath redeemed Jerusalem. Yahweh hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our power. So in the eyes of all these nations, they're going to see the Israelites be raised up because there's Israelites scattered all throughout the nations. Okay, and so when the Most High shows his arm, okay, and through Yahweh Shai delivers us, man, all these nations are going to see that. Okay, and so it's going to be a beautiful thing because those Israelites that dwelled in all nations are being taught right now, okay, that they're the Israelites through way of the internet. All right, and so when the scriptures say go and teach all nations, all Israelites that is scattered in these different nations are the people who we ought to teach, because we know the heathen aren't going to get it. All right, these laws, statutes, and commandments are not for them to understand. So I just want to get that precept to back up what I was talking about. Now we can go back to Jeremiah chapter 30. All right, and let's see here. We're at verse 11. It says, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all the nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So the Most High is balanced, man. He's going to correct us in measure, all right? And according to basically his mercies, certain men will be able to escape that punishment of being hit with by that second death. All right, which is thermonuclear destruction. The first death being the flood, okay? The flood during the time of Noah. The second death is going to be by fire. All right, first one was by water. The second one's going to be by fire, okay? And most people aren't going to make it, man. All right, you tell me how well you fare against a thermonuclear missile, man. I don't care how many doomsday kits you got, okay? Tornado protection. Nah, man, you're gonna have to. That's why Esau building these bunkers, man. I don't want to get too off topic. All right, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 12. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is uncurable, and thy wound is grievous. That reminds me of Isaiah chapter 1. I believe it's chapter 1, where it talks about the whole head is sick. Let me see. Yeah. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 5. It says, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye revolt more and more. the whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. And I love topics like this because it really encompasses the entire position that Israel is in right now with the Most High, man. Okay, because we have readily made examples with scoffers and scorners, who come on our page talking all type of cash, money, with no understanding, and they just condemn themselves openly to the Most High. By doing that, we understand that, our people still are in that through state, man. They're in that finished stage, okay, where they're done spiritually. They don't have any understanding, and physically they're gonna get punished for that. So we know that this is what that's talking about. Talking about the whole head, all right, meaning like our leaders of our nation don't got the juice. Martin Luther King Jr., what's the other guy? His name escapes me right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Malcolm X, okay? Even today's leaders, who you got? Childish Gambino, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, who's really, Al Sharpton? Who's really our nation's leader? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the answer is the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man. Okay? And on down, man. The prophets, they've always been the ones who were in the middleman between Yahweh himself and the people. All right? So going back here to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 12, it says, "For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable and thy wound is grievous," which you got an example of that in Isaiah chapter 1. All right, basically saying, meaning it's, like I said, incurable. There's no way to heal Israel, which is why the Most High had to send Yahweh Shai, man, to atone for our sins and get it right for us, because without mercy, we're gonna be here forever, man. All right, because we can't be saved by the works of the law. All right, so continuing in verse 14, verse 13. "There is none that to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." Okay, yeah, no, none of these other countries. These other nations are going to stand up for us and say, let's help Israel back up. You know what I'm saying? They're real messed up with the Most High. Let's help them out. No, these other nations took advantage of us, and they still are taking advantage of us, and they're going to continue to take advantage of us until the Most High establishes us in our proper place so we can rule over them. All right, verse 14, it says, "All thy lovers," I got to read this again. Verse 13, "There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." Our people think that this pan-Afroism, this humanism, atheism, Roman Catholicism, Islam, okay, all of these philosophies, man, Jehovah's Witness, okay, even these Christian Israelites, these IUICs and these people use Christ and Jesus, which is not his name. All of this stuff, man, these medicines are trying to let Esau make it, and the mark of the beast isn't this, these medicines, none of them work, man. Okay, only medicine is the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, that's the only thing that we have here. Continuing in verse 14, it says, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee; they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased." So our people, our nation, I apologize, is likened unto a woman, man. We read in Ezekiel the 16th chapter, the Most High talks about how Israel basically went a-whoring after these other nations, other gods, okay? And so that's why the reason why he cast us off as a nation, stopped dealing with us, and sold us into slavery, which is why we're in captivity this very day. All right, long story short. But the point I wanted to make in verse 14 was saying that these other nations, they don't give a damn about us. All right, they use us while they could, okay, and basically they want to just toss us to the side, man, like a dirty, like a menstruous rag, okay, and so that's why the Most High has to remember us, otherwise we'd just be forgotten, man. These nations will swallow us up. it says, it says, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. So, you know, say for example, you got this chick you're dealing with, you know, or whatever, or this woman, you know, that you're dealing with. All right. Well, she gets a big ass wound, an open gash across her chest, across her face, you know, or on her body. You know, she's not going to be as desirable as before, okay? Because she's wounded, you know, and so that's why the Most High did that to us, so that we wouldn't be desirable to basically. Because when we were in our power source, man, these nations admire us. You know, they looked up to us, and they wanted us to become a part of them. They wanted us to assimilate with them, you know, eat with them, drink with them, dwell with them, have our sons and daughters mix and mingle, when that was never the will of the Most High. And so that's why the Most High put us in this predicament, to where we're basically despise these nations, so that hopefully we can learn some from our transgressions, man. All right. But anyway, continuing on in Jeremiah chapter 30, it says, verse 15, why criest thou for thine affliction? You know, that's like when you get your ass whooped, your dad asks you, why you crying? You know, you know what you did wrong, and you still crying. You know, 15 minutes later, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Man, look, man, you know what you did wrong, man. All right, Israel, we're getting punished for what we did wrong. All right, which is transgressing the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, because thy sins, verse 15 in the middle after that question, it says, thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. So the Most High is fair. He punished us according to our works. Verse 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them. So the Most High is going to recompense that punishment that they put on, that the other nations put on us. You know, he's gonna recompense that tribulation unto them as well. So he's fair and he's balanced. Okay, and so it says, and thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And so that is that's part of it. That's part of the promise. You know, that's part of the, matter of fact, that's part of the blessing that Jacob, not Jacob, I'm sorry, that Jacob, that Jacob received. Okay. In Genesis, what was that, 20, let me see something, Genesis 26 or 27. Let's get it real quick. Genesis 27. Okay. Yeah, all right. So it says Genesis 27 and 29. It says, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. See, that's what the Israelites have to look forward to, man. For these nations and these people to bow down to us, because we are the inheritors of the earth, man. We are the rightful heirs to the throne, man. Not this freaking imposter, man. Okay? And that's why he has to call himself the Jew, man. All right? Because he knows these scriptures. Hey, you know, okay, if he's a Jew, if he's Jacob, then that makes sense. Okay, yeah, people bow down to him. That's right. You know, people serve him. Okay. No, man. Okay? He's Esau. He's the imposter. We are the real Israelites. All right? Esau is the mystique of the nations, man. All right? You know, when you watch the first X-Men, you know, she transformed, morphed into Wolverine, and she fought Wolverine as Wolverine. You know, Esau gonna try to tell us he's the Jew when we're the Jews, man. Who the hell are you? You're an imposter. You know, you know, that's that example kind of came to mind. But yeah, so continuing on, Genesis chapter 27 and 29. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Let be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee, man. Okay? And so the Most High is on our side, man. All right, we the ones who have power with the Most High. That's what our name means. All right, princes of the power. Okay, the Most High, you know, we His favorite, man. You know, hey, get over it, man. You know, prepare for that destruction, that slavery. The best thing you nations can do is assimilate to these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High is gonna make mandatory in the kingdom. All right, because if you buck up like Esau, you're gonna see what's gonna happen. All right, the answer is gonna be pain. All right, pain. Okay. All right, so I want to get that precept. So let me go back here, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17. It says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds." Did not the scripture say Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to come with healing in his wings? Okay, that's that salvation. All right, that we hope for, that we pray for. All right, it says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after." They mocking us, these other nations. You know, hey, that's part of the curses. We made a laughing stock because we went off. Okay, and so those that laugh at us now, they're going to serve us, man. They're going to be humble, okay? They're going to be humble, talking about these other nations, particularly and especially you Edomites, okay? You Edomites, you proud-ass devils, man. You niggas, because you are the real niggards, okay? It means a stingy. Niggard is a stingy person, okay? And Esau surely is the stingiest man on earth, coveting all these nations, okay, all these lands. But you, especially, yes, you're going to go into perpetual servitude. All right, another phrase for eternal slavery. All right, so I wanted to get that. Continuing on in Jeremiah chapter 30 and 18, it says, "Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy upon his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof." Okay? And so that spiritual city is being built up, okay? And the temple is at the center of the city, okay? And those every one of the elect is a brick in that temple, you know. Every one of the elect is part of that temple, that spiritual temple where the Most High, his spirit and his presence dwells there. So in the ancient world, these nations are going to flow into us in order to get the understanding, in order to get the mind of the Most High. It's the closest thing that they'll be able to get to the mind of the Most High, and the will of the Most High is going to be us, just like how it is now, because they are given the Spirit. The Spirit is something to be treasured, you know. And I'm speaking to myself, you know, as somebody who needs to cherish it. All right. So it says in verse 19, "And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I shall also glorify them, and they shall not be small." So we know that when the kingdom comes, the Most High is going to magnify Israel. He's going to multiply Israel physically, man. Like we're actually going to be, when it comes to numbers, man, we're going to have numbers. I mean, we already got numbers, you know, in these other nations, but we're going to have, it's really going to be the sand of the sea in that day, man. That's the best way I can put it, you know, and as numerous as the stars in that day. All right, because we will have freedom to procreate as we were commanded. All right, it's going to be a beautiful thing. This is Zechariah chapter 10, verse 8. It says, "And I will hiss for them and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again." and I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt, and gather them out of Assyria, and I will bring them into the land of Galilee and Lebanon, and place shall not be found for them. Okay, because it's going to be so many of us, man. All right, the Most High is going to take us out of the double straits and put us in the land of fruitful. He's going to put us in a fruitful hill. Okay. Let's see here. Verse 11, it says, and he shall pass through the sea with affliction, and shall smite the waves of the sea, and all the deeps of the river shall dry up, and the pride of Assyria shall be brought down, and the scepter of Egypt shall depart away. So like we mentioned earlier, when you read the beginning of Jeremiah chapter 30, well, actually, when we read in the beginning of Isaiah chapter 14, it talked about the downfall of these other nations, you know, and so that's basically what this is talking about right now, and this is what is going to occur. Egypt and Assyria's influence and power is going to be brought down, and then the righteous are going to be able to flourish. All right. Verse 12, it says, and I will strengthen them in Yahweh, and they shall walk up and down in his name, saith Yahweh. All right, so we're going to be strengthened in the Lord. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be truly a beautiful sight to behold. All right, it's going to be the manifestation of the will of the Most High in full effect. All right, so continuing in Jeremiah chapter 30, let's see here. Verse 20, their children also shall be as aforetime. All right, being mighty, we're going to be mighty, we're going to be strong. All right, we're going to be fast, we're going to be smart. You know, we're going to be able to do all sorts of things, man. Okay, we're going to be able to, matter of fact, I think that's in Isaiah chapter 40, and there's also one in I think is it Zephaniah or Zechariah? I'm looking for the one in Isaiah, because I know in Isaiah it talks about they that wait upon the Most High shall renew their strength. Yep. This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. It says, but they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. Okay. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So we're gonna be a spiritual refresh. You know, it's gonna be a spiritual refresh, man. All right, and we're gonna be renewed. You know, like when you renew your license, or you renew, you know, a subscription. You know, it's fresh. You know, you good. You can relax. All right, that our strength is going to be renewed. Right now, we are feeble. We talk about that in verse 30, you know, of Isaiah. So anyway, this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse, what was I at? Verse 20. It says, their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai continues to make a distinction between those who are oppressed and those who do the oppressing. Those who do the oppressing will be oppressed. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, that's prophecy. Okay, it's balanced. It's only fair. That was Revelation chapter 9. I'm sorry, chapter 3. Matter of fact, let me just get it. I think it's 13 actually. 13 and 9 and 10. Revelation. Since I'm quoting it, I might as well pull it. Yep. Revelation chapter 13 and 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So we rest in that saying alone. We rest in that. We understand that, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the man that oppresses us and curses us is going to be cursed. Okay? We're going to rule over the nations. That's Jacob's blessing, man. It's a beautiful thing. Going back here, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 21. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governors shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. All right? So the Israelites, when they're in their right mind, we're gonna seek the Most High again. And we're gonna understand the Most High because his laws are gonna be written in our inward parts. So we're gonna be able to commune with him and understand his will a lot better than how we do now. And so it says, their nobles shall be of themselves, meaning there's not going to be anybody ruling over us, because our nobles are of another nation. If you look at these congressmen, the people in the White House and who have authoritative positions, they are not us. They're ruling over us though. But in the kingdom, is going to be the rightful way. The Israelites are going to be ruling. They're going to be the noblemen. All right. And so we're not going to have to worry about any type of racism there. Okay. Because, yeah, racism is in the Bible. The Most High is racist. All right. He has a favorite nation. Okay. So it says in verse 21, continuing on, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh. So it would be like a prodigal son, Like, okay, so you finally came around, Talking about Israel as a nation, finally gonna come around to the Most High. All right. And we're gonna be received with gladness, man. The Most High, deep down, he really does want Israel to be back on his good side again, man. Just like how when you got a woman, man, we the Most High's woman as a nation. When you got a woman, man, y'all ain't getting along. You put up, man. You want her, man. You know what I'm saying? You want everything to be worked out, but she's so messed up and bugged out. You can't even. But you want her, man. That's why you betrothed her. That's why you made her your wife. And that's the same feeling that the Most High has for us, man. And it's nothing that we did. He made us that way. Okay. But we should be yearning for our spiritual husband, which is Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so that we can get back on track, man. Okay, that's why we do these videos. That's why we do these lessons. All right. That's why we continue to stay diligent. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 22. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. So if you're an Israelite and you're wicked, you're going to experience that pain. If you're an Edomite, you're automatically wicked. All right, you're going to experience that pain. If you're a nation, of another nation, okay, of a heathen nation, you're going to experience that pain because you don't have the understanding of the scriptures, okay? So it makes you wicked, okay? You're not following after those laws. These other nations are wicked as hell, man, all right? Eating squids and dogs. They don't got it, man, all right? It says, and that whirlwind, by the way, is going to be the chariots of the Lord. A lot of times when you see whirlwind, you bet you would want to look out for chariots when you read the word whirlwind. You would want to look out for it talking about chariots. Okay, the chariots of the Lord, which are the so-called UFOs that these people here call them. But they're really the chariots of the Most High, which is going to be the vehicle that the Most High uses to deliver us as a nation. All right. It says, let's see here. I'm going to read verse 23 again. It says, behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, because he's going to use that to basically take over the world, man, and put these other nations under subjection and give us the kingdom. see here, 23 and 19. See what the precept is. Ooh, okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 19. For who hath stood in the counsel of Yahweh and hath perceived and heard his word? Who hath marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall grievously fall upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have executed, till he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. And that's the spirit, because that's pretty much the same thing that that is said here in verse in chapter 30. You know, I'm gonna read that. It says Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 24, the fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. Okay, so that punishment that's coming upon these other nations is going to come upon these other nations, and the 2/3 and these, especially these Edomites, is going to come in the latter days, man. All right, and we're in the latter days. We're in the last of the latter days. All right, and so that's why it's time to consider those things, because we are in the time of prophecy, man. 2018, the year of prophecy, has not basically fallen short of his name. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, prophecy is all you see every time you turn on the news, or every time you look at a nigga in the world. You just think of scripture, you know, because those prophets are being raised back, and the understanding is being given back unto us again. That knowledge of former things is being called unto remembrance. So I just want to break down that chapter. You know, I didn't want to be too long. Lord willing, it was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.